Hi guys, welcome back. You're watching the Gamecast. My name is Denzel, and today we're back with a brand new video. So the video of today is about 10 games that make it worth getting Xbox Game Pass for. But before we continue with the video, I wanted to ask you guys if you would please take your time to subscribe to my channel. You would make me extremely happy. So let's head straight to the list. FYI, I tried to keep the videos as short as possible so you get to gaming as soon as possible. So for the first game on the list, I got Age of Empires. But not only one specific Age of Empires, but all of them. Because on the Xbox Game Pass you get all editions from 1 to 4. So the reason I put Age of Empires on this list isn't just because it's Age of Empires, but the title also says a lot, you know. But buying each Age of Empires game is a couple years worth of Game Pass. Besides that, it is a game that you can always return to. If you haven't played it in a couple of years and you don't know what to play, you can always go back to Age of Empires and it will always be a lot of fun. You can even get re-addicted in the game a couple of times in your lifetime. So trust me, I've done it, I've been there, and it's just amazing and every time it feels great. And since they're all on the Game Pass, so 1 to 4, you can choose from either of these games and they're all just slightly different, but they're all great games, so you can even switch between those. Next up is number 9 on the list, and on number 9 we got Assassin's Creed. So with this title you're not getting every Assassin's Creed there is, but you get 3 amazing titles, so the last 3, and those are Origins, Odyssey and Valhalla. So not only the gameplay in these games is nice, and that's something they did really well. Some people might even be skeptical about the gameplay because it's so much different than the previous Assassin's Creed games that we're used to. But to start with Assassin's Creed Origins is great because it really tells the origin story about the Assassin's Creed, and that's something we haven't had before. Then we end up with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but that Assassin's Creed Odyssey made it really cool because you can really walk around as a demigod in this game. So once you're upgraded and your skill tree is packed, you really walk around like you're a demigod. And the last one for the Assassin's Creed title on this list, we got Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So what made this game really great was the colony part. You could really build your own colony. So you could go to other towns like a true Viking, destroy everything, salvage stuff there, and use it to upgrade your own little town and create it to a pretty big town, a pretty big base, and all your people were living a good life over there. And it was a great addition to the Assassin's Creed game here. Only the storyline was a kind of a downside. There wasn't really a very in-depth storytelling there, and the gameplay just took too long. It's like 70 or 80 hours to finish the game. But still, for all these 3 games, the Game Pass is definitely worth it, because these games together are almost 200 hours to complete if you only follow the main storyline. So that's a lot of playing time. Then we got number 8 on the list, and on number 8 I got It Takes Two. And It Takes Two is a very legendary game, and it's one of the best co-op games I've ever played, if not the best co-op game. So I've actually never recommended playing a game twice, but with It Takes Two, I do recommend playing it twice, because the first time you played it, of course you play it with a friend, but you play it as one character, and the storyline is the same, but as soon as you get back to the game and play as the other character, you really experience a different kind of game, because you get different missions and different stuff to do, and look from everything at a different angle and perspective. Which makes it like you're playing a new game. So next up on the list is Fallout, and Fallout for some people is everything, and for some people it's nothing. I really enjoyed the old Fallout games like Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3. But no worries, because every single Fallout title is available on the Game Pass, as well as on the PC Pass, and that counts for every single title I come across in this video. Everything is playable on the Xbox Game Pass as well as the PC Pass. So for a small amount of money, more than just the Xbox Game Pass, you get the PC Pass as well, and you get to play pretty much every game that's available for the Xbox Game Pass as well on the PC. Next up on the list is number 6, and on number 6 I got Far Cry 6, but also Far Cry 5. And Far Cry 5 is by far my favorite Far Cry of all time, and 6 was also a very great game, but 5 was just so much fun. And I put this game on here because it's definitely worth your money, because the amount of hours you can put in these games, and especially in Far Cry 5, I did all of the side objectives and stuff, and I never completed a game for 100%, and with this game I did complete it for 100%, because I just kept playing it. It was a nice open world game, as well as Far Cry 6 by the way, but the storyline, the telling about the cult and all that kind of stuff really intrigued me in Far Cry 5, and made it that much more fun. So for the amount of hours you get to play this game, it really is worth it, paying only $10 or $15 a month. So that's the reason why it's on the list. It's one of the best Far Cry games ever. I really do recommend playing both of these games, actually. It's sad that the other Far Cry aren't on the list, because Far Cry Primal, for a second, that's really a very great game as well. But it's not on the list, so I'm gonna skip everything about that, because otherwise I'm talking about something that has nothing to do with this video. And this video is about the Xbox Game Pass games that make it worth getting Xbox Game Pass for. So these two games are definitely worth looking into and definitely worth playing if you haven't played them before, as soon as you get the Game Pass. Then we get to number 5 on the list, and on number 5 I got Gears of War. So we got Gears of War Ultimate Edition, Gears of War 4, and Gears 5 Game of the Year Edition, all available on Game Pass. The thing that makes these games really great is the part that you can play it in online co-op. So there are not a lot of games where you can live through the full campaign in co-op mode. So I played all of these games in co-op mode, especially Gears 5 was amazing. And with Gears 5 you also get the Hivebusters DLC, so you get a lot of time to play these games together with friends in an online co-op mode. It's a full immersive storytelling with nice side quests, but also a very nice in-depth storytelling for the main quest line, and you can just live through it together with your friends, and that's just fucking amazing. The gameplay is nice, you also get a multiplayer shooter and stuff, and you can always get back to this game. But I do recommend playing the campaign mode together with someone in co-op. That just makes it very amazing, and I really enjoyed that game, and I'm really gonna replay it in the near future. So next on the list we got number 4, and number 4 is Halo. Of course, we gotta put Halo on here, just to make sure everybody understands, but there is no top 10 in this list. These are just 10 random titles in a random order. There's no chronological order or whatsoever, so I never said 10 is better than 1 before everybody starts complaining. I just want to make sure everybody gets this. I don't think Halo needs a lot of explanation. To most people, these are the best FPS games ever developed. So Halo is a science fiction FPS computer game developed by Bungie and published by Microsoft Studios. Well, since all of the Halo games are available on the Xbox Game Pass, it's definitely worth looking into as soon as you get the Xbox Game Pass subscription. And of course, you get to play them on PC as well. Do recommend. So we're getting close to the end of the list, but first we got number 3, and on number 3 I got Need for Speed. And the reason I put Need for Speed on here is because there are a lot of Need for Speeds available on the Xbox Game Pass. So there are 7 Need for Speed games available on the Game Pass, and those are a lot of hours you get to play Need for Speed. So me, myself, I'm not the biggest racing game fan, but I put Need for Speed on the list because Need for Speed is a game I always get to go back to. So if I don't know what to play, it's always fun to play Need for Speed for a while, especially the older games, but also one of the newer ones. I'm not a big fan of Need for Speed Unbound because it's all with the cartoony and goofy stuff, and I don't really like it, because if I want to play a racing game, I do really want to play like a street racing game like Fast and the Furious, old school, back in the day kind of stuff. And you don't got Underground in the Xbox Game Pass, but you do got all the last Need for Speeds. So that's pretty amazing, and it's a game you always get to go back to, and it's a lot of fun to start from nothing with a crappy car, build it up, and eventually get a cool custom built car that's really fast and destroys everyone on the track. So that's why I put it on the list. It's always a game you get to go back to, and if you got the Xbox Game Pass, it's very easy to re-download a game and just play it for a while, and if you don't know what to play, or if you got a new game, you can go back to that one, but you always get something to fall back on. And since there are 7 titles, you really never get bored of racing. You don't need anything else but these games. So we're at number 2, and that means the video is almost over, and I know you guys will be sad, but no worries, you still got a couple of minutes left with me. So at number 2 I got Tomb Raider. So there's only one reason why I doubted to put the Tomb Raider series on this list, and that's because the Definitive Edition is not available on the Xbox Game Pass. Since I'm such a big fan of Tomb Raider games, I had to put them on the list, but I do recommend playing the first part first. It's a definitive edition, so the graphics are upped, but it's still an older game, so keep that in mind. But I do recommend playing all 3 of them, because it's a trilogy, and also don't watch a trilogy movie without watching the first part, right? You don't watch part 2 and part 3 and don't know anything about the origins or whatever of the story. So I do recommend playing the first part, but all of these 3 games are so amazing. The storytelling is great, the graphics are amazing, the combat, fighting style, gameplay, everything is just awesome, and I still hope for a new part. Especially the last one was so great, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. The storytelling is so thrilling and immersive, and you really get drawn into the story, and that just makes it awesome. And we're at number 1, and that makes it that the video is almost over. Don't start crying yet. First press like and subscribe, then you can start crying. Let's go to the last part of the video. So for number 1 we got Dishonored. So for this title we got 3 games in the Xbox Game Pass. We got Dishonored Definitive Edition. So the first part we got Dishonored 2, and we got Dishonored Death of the Outsider. That's the last part of this series, and that's the game from 2021. So for these games I also do recommend playing all 3, starting with the first one, but if you find the first one a little bit too old, you can also play one of the others first. Doesn't really matter with this game, they're all great and the visuals are just awesome. I know these games aren't for everyone, but they're still kind of amazing and pretty legendary in the world of gaming. And now we're at the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it a lot. If you did, please press like and subscribe, and maybe leave a comment in the comment section to let me know what you thought of the video, and I hope to see you guys next time. Have a very great day, y'all.